Your fingertips typically is what's in the book is palm and fingertips. I've also adopted knuckles and at a certain point fists, but mostly knuckles, fingertips, and palm. And then we'll get into swing scrubbing, which is just using the palm a little bit differently. So what we have is Yin Tan here, and then GV24 here. Okay, one soon above the anterior hairline. And all I'm going to do is apply gentle pressure, but fast, from point A to point B. How's the pressure?
Mm-hmm.
There's some heat coming. You gotta have control over your hands, of course, because it's kind of one of those things where you lose an eye or something. You don't want that. But I want everybody really quick to feel that. Go ahead. Quick. Pretty warm, right? So then there's excuse me for 1 second. Yin Tan, I believe for depression, it's right here. So how I would scrub that is with one finger, whatever finger I felt more comfortable and control with. In this case is the longer one. It's going to be my middle finger. So I just either scrub like that, or I could scrub like this, which I like better because the nose actually helps me stop. Just showing that. That helps me as a stop, so I don't have to worry about going too far.
Now what is this point right here?
That one right there is bladder 2.
I felt like it had a name such as that.
Okay.
I'm getting them mixed up.
Well, this is Tai Yang.
That's what I'm thinking. Thank
Tai
you.
Yang, yep. So that's GV20, or I'm sorry, Yin Tan. That's how you can scrub Yin Tan. If you have a really small palm, you could probably swing scrub this, like this, swing scrubbing. But I think that's a little too weird. I'll go through swing scrubbing in a second, but actually I'll go through it now. So swing scrubbing, because you can do swing scrubbing right here. Swing scrubbing is using your palm, okay, just the heel of your palm, in a waving bye-bye motion. Okay, so you're here, and all I'm gonna do is kind of anchor this ulnar side of my palm as the pivot point, so that the rest of it moves. So all I'm doing is swing scrubbing here, creating a little bit of heat. It's not as direct or acute as scrubbing with the fingers, but it does still generate a good amount of heat. Okay? How'd that feel?
Mm-hmm.
Yin Tan GV24, we just did that. Li4. I think this is probably one of the more difficult places to use your hands at. You could definitely do it like this. But you can also use your ulnar side of your hand like a saw, like this. And that's going to generate a lot of heat. So that's how we're going to do kidney 1 and kidney 2, is using the ulnar side of the palm like a saw. You could also use your palms, but we'll do that at the back. So I think if you were to stretch this, you could easily do that. Scrubbing here 200 times a minute, or something like this, which is a little bit more deep, and you can get a little bit hotter a little bit faster, a little bit warmer a little bit faster. Which one would you prefer?
Sewing.
Sawing over this?
Mm-hmm.
How come?
I just feel like you're getting it better with the saw.
That's funny. So that's scrubbing Li4, GV14. Let's see, anything else in the front? Okay, yeah, so PC6, PC7. So PC6 is too soon, which is 3 fingers from the crease of the wrist, this articulation on the PC meridian. So right here it's going to be right by the 5. Okay, PC6. PC7 is right into the articulation in the middle there. That's PC7. Okay? So this way works really well here. What I could do is just manipulate that meridian to stretch just a bit and give me actually a better surface to scrub in. I could also just as easily swing scrub that. This one swing scrubbing feels a little bit more maternal, a little bit more supple, we'll say, like a supple scrubbing. This is a lot more masculine, a lot more yang. This is more motherly. Okay? This is more, let's just get it hot and get it going. It's not going to get as hot, it's going to take a longer time, and you're not going to be able to do it as long. Okay? So you could do that. You could essentially do this, but it's going to be really hard to keep everything on track. So I would just do that, or you could use knuckle scrubbing, which I'll do as well.
I like that.
Which is probably the next step up. So from here, then to here, as far as the different levels to draw and the different heats. You could also do PC8 here, which is where her middle finger or her ring finger will naturally fall. PC8 to PC7. The most logical way to get that is either going to be with my knuckles or with the saw. And in this case, I'm just going to actually use the knuckles because I think that'll work best. So let's go like that. You want to have good support back here so we're not constantly articulating there. So I'm giving a little bit of traction to make sure that this is pulled apart. Just going from PC8 to PC7.
So how long do you do that for?
Well, 200 times a minute. The higher times per minute you're doing something, the more anaerobic it is as far as physiology goes. So the harder it's going to be to hold it for a long period of time. So I would challenge anyone in here to do scrubbing for 30 seconds on someone and then not be completely out of breath and almost to a sweat. So I'd say between 10 and 15 seconds.
So you do it on both hands?
Yeah, sure. Either one works. There's not a hard and fast rule. Form. Really good for massage therapists because this extensors tend to get pretty tight. Anyone who works at a computer a lot. Of course, athletes as well. So one way that I get this, Justin actually showed me this. He found this with some soap in the shower to help release his heat here. So then I'm like, oh sweet, you don't need soap. It works best without it. So I'll just deep breath in and then keep taking those. I'll just sit here and either go back and forth like this or could go back and forth like that. Medium to heavy pressure, but it's all superficial still, and that's a lot hotter. How'd that feel? And once you get done with it, it's kind of heck when you're doing it, but once you get done, it really helps the muscle relax and lengthen and release the heat, and it'll be hot for a couple minutes afterwards. So that's how I would do the forearm extensors. You could probably do the flexors too, like that as well with the knuckles, but I would go this way. Well, I guess you could still do that, but I normally do it this way. So anterior tibialis, do you mind if I pull this up? Layer 1. So this I could do here. It's just going to affect me a lot more than it's going to affect her. She's not going to feel any kind of discomfort probably, but I'm not going to be able to maintain this before I start getting burns from the fabric. But we'll do it anyway, just for all intents and purposes. This is hemp.
Yeah.
I think that's going to burn me even more. So we'll try the synthetic stuff. So anterior tibialis, lateral to the tibia. Peroneal's there. So all I'm going to do is actually help this out. Press this down so that this elongates. Okay. You all right?
Mm-hmm.
You just
do it.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to... Can I pull this up?
Yeah.
That was hot. So all I'm going to do is just scrub here like this. Could also take it down a notch, scrub here like this. Okay.
What is that muscle?
Anterior tibialis. So,
You hate that one?
really great way to work it. When you're doing scrubbing, you want to make sure that you're not trying to move. The joints closer to the body are going to be for larger, longer movements and much slower. If you go down one joint, this gets closer and faster. This gets shorter and faster yet. But it's also harder to control and not as deep. This is faster than this is, but this is going to be harder and deeper to apply with the elbow. So you want to, I like to just apply with the elbow unless I'm going forward here. Then I can apply it a lot faster with the shoulder and the elbow because I can divide the work. But rarely are you ever going to be doing just wrist. That's when swing scrubbing comes in, and then it's more of a transverse type motion. So I'll have you go ahead and turn over and slide up into the face cradle, which we'll put up for you quick. Okay, so kidney 1, kidney 2. Kidney 1 is right here. Kidney 2 is right about here. Okay, get your hands ready because you're going to want to feel this when you get done. Best way to do this is to support the foot. Take the inferior hand, point it this way so it goes from kidney 1 to kidney 2. On the other side, it would be my left hand, preferably. It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
So it feels that hot to you, it feels really good to them. And her feet are pretty cold, so how'd that feel? Good. So kidney 1, kidney 2, really good for grounding points. Really good for energy because you're going to help the energy flow from top to bottom. That's one of my favorite ones to do, but it's hard to do fast. So make sure you practice that with your left hand because I'm not nearly as good with my left hand as I am with my right hand. This one's got all the fast twitch. This one's just
Awkward.
not there yet. Yeah, still awkward. So back and
And you
lumbar.
said that like with the gallbladder to do those, like even if someone has had their gallbladder removed to do those, because you still have a meridian there.
Yeah.
Same concept with that.
Yeah, same concept. All of those kind of organ-related ones, obviously, the exception would be the heart. Can't really not have that. But you could have one kidney, not have a kidney, so on and so forth. Gallbladder. I guess you need a bladder too, but those can be good. Yeah. Well, there's not an appendicular meridian. But yes, all that's true. Spleen. Okay, so can I pull your shirt up for lumbar? So all we're going to deal with here is here. This is a really good one for the palm because it's a little bit bigger area and we can spread the work out across our palm. So all we're going to do is smaller back, you can do one arm, larger back, 2 arms. I'll do both just to show you the difference. And you can go across the meridian here. This is going to help with low back pain, prostate as well in the book, and I would say it would cross over with menses as well. Okay, so there's that, pretty warm. You could do 2. Or I could even do like chopping with this saw. So either one works, and you can see how pink it's getting. So there's a lot of heat being drawn up from the area. It's 20 seconds of work, man. It's definitely work. This is one of the more rigorous movements. So scrubbing there, you can also do the exact same thing down the erectors. We won't do that because all the techniques that I just showed you to do that, you can do there. Okay, so I don't think you need me to show you that. And then for fever, you can work right here on GV14. It's right there. So you can do that with fingertip scrubbing. I would probably use swing scrubbing. So just downward pressure. And if you get ready, you can see how warm you can get swing scrubbing. Pink. It's pretty warm. So this is a good one to relieve fever. Cool? Pretty simple.